Yes, yes.
So, yeah. So, hi everyone, good morning, and welcome back to another edition of Builder Skills Sprint. And this month it's going to be entirely about DevOps. So, I'm so excited to learn along with you guys. So, it's 10:02 right now. Let's wait for a few more minutes so that a lot of people can join and learn with us. In the meantime, you can interact with us in the chat box in the comment section. Tell us where you're from, which location you're based on, because we are all excited to hear from you and interact with you. So let's wait for a few more minutes before we begin the session.
Okay, we have few folks from different districts, few from Erode. I'm right now in Bangalore. And what about you, Madhumita?
I'm from Dindikal right now,
Great.
here in
I'm
hostel in my
I'm
college.
also right now medical. I'm too
Okay,
okay.
we have folks from I think probably from Champs College, I guess. Great to see few folks hopping in on a Sunday morning. Especially
Yes.
it's bit difficult to wake up on a Sunday morning and hop on to a learning session. And glad that everyone is here. I would say that I'm also proud of myself to wake up on a Sunday morning for the session.
I do miss like
Okay.
two or three alarms today. Yeah.
Yes, it really does the job. Yes. So yeah. So AWS user group Madurai has been doing wonderful. We have been quite engaging in the last couple of months. We are doing a lot of stuff around it. And Madhumita, how was your experience in handling or participating in the last physical session that we hosted, where we talked about physical AI, we talked about Amazon
Yes.
Nova, and so on.
It was like incredible, and it was one of the very few in-person meetups where you see a range of topic, like a range of like you have started from the beginning. You started from the fundamentals of what is an agentic AI to we have learned something in a fun, interactive way using Nova Pro. We have also seen an agent get the keywords from us and tell a huge, super fun story, a thriller, a rom com. It was very fun and interactive. People were like literally laughing, and to see their reaction, it was like very good, very heartwarming to see their reaction, to interact with them. And at last, as a banger, we saw your the bracer that is Bumblebee, a physical AI. And I never thought like it would do a 360 run, and it was like really amazing to see it on person. And everyone who got this chance to interact with the physical AI, like it was very amazing. And of course, everyone who participated gave me the same feedback, so it was amazing.
Yeah, I think we'll have much more greater updates coming in Deep Razor in next a week or so. So there is a bunch of stuff going in. Yeah, and we have yes. Okay, we'll just wait for a second, and we have more than 30, 40 plus folks tuned in. Yeah, and
Okay, so before starting our session, like, do you guys know who our speakers for today are? Like, of course, you might have known from the posters and all, but I'll give you a slight hint because both of our speakers are AWS certified, and one of them is an AWS Golden Jacket holder. So the session is gonna be full of learning, also celebration with it, and also community stories blend with it. So anyone who's excited to like meet our speakers, interact with them, like come on, put it on chat box. So can we start? Is it
yeah, yes. So yeah, before that, I think we could go ahead and see what's happening in user group Madurai. And before we pull in our amazing speakers, so we already have people telling who are the speakers out here. So great. Yes, so a couple of things that's happening in user group Madurai is we have been consistent in hosting events. I think we have hosted around 14 plus meetups in last 4 to 5 months, and this is one of the key initiatives, which is Build a Sprint. So Build a Sprint is a initiative that you have picked up not just to host events, like not just to just bring in speakers to deliver about a particular session, but you're going to continue the entire life cycle about where you learn and you apply as well. So everything that you learn in a meetup, in a session, you're going to apply and see how that works. So what you do is once this session is over, you will also have something called, so if you haven't registered, go ahead to AWS user group madurai.in website, awsug.in website, and then you can see all the builder sprints that are happening. So every month we pick one theme and we stick to it. So what you do is you just go ahead and see, for example, in March, we were celebrating around the AI DLC. We had over 200, 300 participants. Not everyone is in the website, so you may not see the actual count, but you could actually see a lot of people submitting in. Okay, I'll just sign back. Okay, that's fine. You can see a lot of people submitting. We had 200 plus people submitting in for a build for her and focusing on women-based applications using Kiro. Lokesh, would you like to comment on how did that particular initiative went?
Yeah, of course. Vivek. First of all, good morning, everyone. Like about the Kiro event, it was like, went so great. Like from the students to professionals, they're able to get the hands-on experience with the MCPs, hooks, and everyday purposes. Like they're able to find the use case of hooks in real time and MCPs. Like till now, they just do then the vibe coding using like as a in the vibe mode, real vibe coding. After they getting know more about the Kiro, they started to use spec in more effective manner, and also they started using all the tools in the Kiro, and they started using powers also. So few people came up and built their own powers and started using for their own use case. We used to see that today, but even though like they are using the Kiro more effective manner, so like they are able to do their work effectively for the college hackathons and also for their work lives. Yeah.
Great. Yep, that was one of the amazing sessions. So, which means if we have Builder Skill Sprint today, which is focused on DevOps, you would be receiving a hands-on challenge that is available on the website within a couple of days. And all you have to do is go ahead and implement it. That's going to be one of the easiest. The best part about all this is that everyone who attends today's session, registers in the websites and attends the session and also submits our feedback, is eligible getting your user group points. And what you can actually do with the user group points, there's a lot of things that you can do. So you can go on to the store where you can see a lot of things that is available from our store as well. So what you do is you go ahead, use your points and redeem it, and you can get credits, you can get sticker sheets, you can get power banks, water bottles, t-shirt and jackets, and a lot of things. So your participation will turn into swags, and you don't need to depend on swags anymore. So you show up, and that brings you all the necessary stuff. So that is a whole community inclusiveness that we are bringing into this user group, Madurai. And one more thing that we are planning to launch, if you have something amazing to show us, we'll put up all this community spotlight. We know a lot of things have been going on. This will be very up soon as well. And college champs, as you all know, we pick colleges that are in and around our region, and we help them to create AWS club inside the college. So people, the clubs, the colleges which is not eligible for student builder program, or formerly known as cloud clubs, uh, we actually help them to mentor them to become such, to get part in the AWS program through our initiative. And every single college hosts events under their particular colleges, and then we also see how much points they earn, and who is a champs lead for them, and what they also do. So these are a healthy competition against each colleges. Lokesh, since you have been driving champs for almost a couple of years, and you being yourself a champ before, how do you see this is becoming a part of our website and our platform, and how this have evolved based on your experience?
Yeah, first of all, like I need to congrats the Kapan College, who's in the leading the points board. We even gave the sacks to Tamay Kanal last event at the offline event. They are able to claim it from the website because like they are driving a great initiatives in the college and other college students also, champs also. Because like from their side, more than 150 Kiro apps has been submitted. It was really unexpected from the student side, and also they effectively going into more hands-on practice. Before now, like when they is coming out of the college, they don't have the AWS account, even AWS account. Because of the champs, they are getting AWS account. They are getting more experience into the DevOps and AI and all. So it's giving a more power into them. So I feel like champs program is helping them getting a far ahead from the other students into the more competitive world, getting into protection ready from our side. So the champs is helping the students to get the live experience from us, and also working professionals, and also students is becoming a next generation of speakers. That is the most good part in it. Yeah.
Great. And yeah, one last thing before we bring in the speakers, we are also excited. And one more thing, not just attending events brings you user group points. You can also contribute and show up and even take a leadership position inside user group Madurai, which is completely transparent. We have been running a couple of polls inside our user group for a long time, right? We've been asking about who are our community builders. We have been asking who are our completed certification. And we were telling that we will bring something in for you guys to take up and lead initiatives. So this is up for everyone, apart from you being a student who are running champs, volunteers who have been supporting us in the backstage, like for example, Madhumita, who's also in the front stage right now on the stage. We are actually extending our leadership team much more, where you can actually pick and own a complete vertical. So moving right now is where I'm going to announce one of our next initiatives, and you can go ahead and become one to lead them as well, or become part of it. So we identified one of the fundamental issues that happens is that yeah, there are people preparing for certifications, there are people who have already completed the certification, and there is always a gap existing that hey, what should I learn, how the exam looks like, and so on. And every single resources that you touch is either paid, or this sort of mentorship comes with a paid mentorship. If you really go, people charge thousands and thousands of rupees in top mid just to say that hey, you can just pick up this course. But why to spend when you have experts and community people who love to share it, all for your benefits? So we are bringing in something, a new initiative called Circles, which is exclusively about helping each other to achieve a common goal. Right now we have started a one single circle called AWS AI Practitioner. What you can actually do is go ahead and join this group, and you'll become part of this particular circle. What you can do, you can actually go ahead and chat like, hey, I need this particular resource, can you help me with it? And I'm having, where can I take mock-up tests? The only thing that we prohibit is not is where we don't allow people to share something which is not aligned ethically. Like for example, you cannot share exam dumps and so on, where we only focus on learning and such. So we have, and we are planning to launch more and more circles. If you like to lead this particular circle, what you have to do is just ping us, and we'll make you also one of the circle lead. If you become a circle lead, you can host sessions for your circle. Like for example, you can host like 5 p.m. today. You can host a small 20 minutes doubt clearing session. This is completely ad hoc. You don't have to depend anything. We will help you with all the resources, planning, scheduling the event, and so on. Your only focus is to do it. So this could be completely private. It might not be live. So become a part of a circle to take part in these sessions. We are also planning to launch a couple of more circles moving forward. It will be like, we have startup circles, which will focus on helping your startup become an AWS startup as well. And we are also planning to launch other certification circles. So with certifications being in place, now it's really the right time to bring in our speakers, which is, who are they? We already told them. So I love to bring two of our amazing speakers here. And speaking of certifications, we have our golden jacket holder, Omshri, with us today as well. So first of all, personally, congratulations from my end. This is one of the most toughest achievements that I really see for it, because clearing all these certifications is no easy job, and becoming an expert, and also you spend a lot of time outside your learning, your work, and to teach people, and that's so hats off for it. And for people who are here who doesn't know about what is golden jacket, a person who completes all the certifications in AWS is eligible to become a golden certificate, a golden jacket holder, which is one of the most prestigious thing that we see in this circle of being a certification holder. So, Omshri, congratulations for that.
Thank you so much, Vivek, and thank you so much for inviting me today. So,
Great. We'll talk
everyone.
more about it once we move in. And we have also Srinivas, who's one of the active members and a huge supporter for user group Madurai. Hi, Srinivas, how is it going?
All good, Vivek. All excited about today.
Yes. And happy to see you last time in the physical event as well. And happy to see you delivering one of the amazing sessions. So I'm going to sit back and then sip a tea and then also listen to your session. And once the session, all this is over, please wait because you guys are going to get a quiz session as well. And being a winner of quiz earns you more user group points, which, and you know obviously what you can do with those. So we'll stay tuned. Ask a lot of questions in the chat. We will love to take questions. Sometimes we'll try to put it in during the session, or we will take it all together at the end of the session. And we are going to learn a lot around DevOps agents today. And personally, this is going to be my learning session, so I'm going to sit down and listen. Yeah. And Madhumita, over to you.
Okay, so starting up with our very first session, we have, as always, she's here. So we have one of the most beloved women at our community. So if you are very active, yeah, it's true. Because if you are very active in the LinkedIn community, in the AWS community, there is no way that you missed her. From contributing to many user groups and being a part of AWS user group, Women in Tech, I have attended lots and lots of sessions. This woman is a brilliant and who's here to share a session on DevOps. So first of all, let me welcome you, Omshri Butani, an AWS Golden Jacket holder, AWS certified, a community builder for the fourth time in the row, and a FinOps professional. So congratulations once again for the Golden Jacket. So if possible, could you share us a glimpse of your journey? Because in one of your posts, you mentioned that 4.5 years or 5 years ago, you were just a curious student who wanted to start, and seeing your reaction while unboxing the jacket was very precious, very cute, very heartwarming. So share us something about it.
Oh my God. Thank you so much, Madhumita, for all of this, kind words. First of all, thank you so much. And yeah, I mean, looking back, I feel like, okay, that was a really, emotional moment when I was unpacking the jacket, but also kind of embarrassing. I don't know, I had kind of tears in my eyes. But yeah, it's been 4.5 years. I still remember in my third year of college, I gave my first exam. And that was not an online proctored, but it was completely going into the exam hall where you have, all of this Pearson views centers and all, where you go in there and you give your exam. And I was sweating in the air conditioned room. I was sweating. It was my first exam. And now if I see the most easiest one, AWS certified cloud practitioner was the first exam I gave. And I was in my college. I didn't know, what excited me a lot. So I tried everything. I tried cloud, I tried ML, I tried data, I tried, back end, front end, and everything. And then I figured out I enjoy cloud a lot because I tried to do some hands-on and all. And I was also part of AWS Academy. So at that time, we didn't had cloud clubs. So we had AWS Academy. And from there, I still remember my first professor who motivated me. Okay, you go ahead in this field and you try to give one certificate and just see if you like it or not. And from there it actually began. And then I went for associates, and then professional, then specialty. And I didn't had a goal. I wanted to do all of the certificates because few of them are very industry specific, of which I might not have all the expertise needed. But I still remember when I was on my 7th or 8th, one of my friend is like, hey, you should complete all of them. And I, till that date, I didn't even think about it that, hey, I wanted to do all of the certificates, right? Because very initial years of my career, I was also trying to settle into this industry. I was also trying to, get comfortable with community, try to contribute, try to learn from it. And certification was not at the top priority. But then somehow it did begin. And For my last certification, I think I took 8 more months because I was like, okay, I'm not fully prepared to give the last exam, and I'm not fully prepared to go for it. And then one of the exam was getting expired. Then I was like, should I wait? Should I go for the next one? What should I do? But yeah, finally it all comes to a very beautiful end, and I did go the golden jacket out of it. But more than that, it was a journey where I learned so many different AWS services. I did hands-on, I built things, I get accidental billings of dollars, hundreds of dollars. Few of them got waived off, few of them I had vouchers, and few of them my friends helped me out to pay off with their vouchers. So it got resolved at one moment. But yeah, I loved building things, even if it's not where I'm majoring into. I just like exploring services. So that's how it all began, and that's how I got the golden jacket.
Yes, because I could literally see the emotions pour out of you when you were unboxing it.
Yeah.
You were like immediately, yeah, I want to call my friends. It was like
Yes,
very
yes.
beautiful to watch. And also, when I joined this AWS community from my college as a member of Cloud Club, someone told me that there is this amazing premium golden jacket when you complete all of the certificates, and I was like, oh my god, really? Only few people in India have it, and today, like, I'm very excited.
It's just
that-
actually not just few. It's like there are few in the
Yeah.
world actually, so that we can
Yes.
actually count them by fingers. So it's that less. Yeah, it's that
So,
rare actually. Yeah.
yeah, and today, like, I'm getting a chance to speak with one of the holder here, and it's really exciting. And the students who are watching it live right now, and the builders and the developers who is watching it live right now, are as much as excited as me. So anything you want to say to them? Because
Just start. For me, I wouldn't know that I like cloud, or I wouldn't know I wanted to go into the cloud field, or where exactly in cloud. I just started doing it, right? If you don't enjoy it, it's always easy to stop, right? But starting and trying to figure it out, trying to build things around, break it around, that's what I would say to all of the builders. I mean, stop procrastinating. That's my mantra. Stop procrastinating and start building it. If you enjoy, keep doing it. If you don't, fine, search something else. But yeah, to all the young builders, to all of the college folks, I mean, yeah, just try it out, build something, break something. That would be my advice.
yes, just build or experiment something. Yes. Great. And also congratulations for being the continuously fourth community builder. Like, I saw the announcement today, so congratulations for that too. So
Thank you so
if that's all right, like, can we start your session?
Yes. Yes.
Yes,
Absolutely.
sure. Then the stage is yours. Take care.
Yeah.
Like,
And
I'll be
looking forward
learning
to your
along
session.
with
Yes.
you. Yes.
Absolutely. Okay, I will share my screen.
I'll just make your presentation up live and I'll drop off. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we have only 21. Bhavish is back with stats actually. So hey Bhavish. So yeah, very, very consistent, big supporter. So yeah, 21 is very, very, very meager number. So being one of the elite group is great. And Omshri, I would personally request you to lead one of the circles and user group Madurai. And
I just
yeah,
heard
great.
about it and I was like, I'm gonna do that.
Oh, perfect. Thank you so much for it. And I'm putting your presentation up. Yep, it's great. Love to see our Meenakshi Amman temple Gopurams on the slide. And thank you so much for that.
I just saw yesterday and I was like, I need to put it over here.
Great.
So,
Thanks.
hey everyone, welcome to this meetup. And today we are going to discuss about AI-powered incident response in AWS DevOps Agent. But I'll make sure to touch base all of the beginner level points of AWS DevOps Agent as well. I know you have to do some challenge after that. So I'll try to cover as much as I can. And a little bit about me. I mean, Madhumita has covered more than everything about me. So yeah, I'm a senior FinOps engineer working at Simpress, community builder, Women Tech Makers ambassador, leading user group Women in Tech India, and have quite a few of certification. Moving forward today, I know we are going to discuss about AWS DevOps Agent, but I wanted you all to know why there was a need of AWS DevOps Agent, right? And after that, what is AWS DevOps Agent? So we're going to divide it into two things: theory, which is quite boring, I know, but we'll just spend like 5 or 10, maximum 10 minutes over there. Then I'll go into the actual management console, which I like the most. I'll show you how to how to work around AWS DevOps Agent, what are different kinds of features they have, and we'll also do a practical. So coming to customer challenges, what are the challenges we were observing in the industry, which which made AWS bring out this amazing tool, which is AWS DevOps Agent. So increase in application complexity, right? Customers today, as I have seen in industry, they operate highly distributed workloads, right? Their environments may include AWS cloud or multi-cloud or maybe hybrid on-prem infrastructure, right? Applications usually start simple, but they become complex over time as your customer base grows, as your customer requirements, needs grows. So complexity increases because of all of the more services that you keep on adding, more integrations that you have like observability tool, you have supporting system, you have XYZ other tools, right? Global scale requirements, expanding architecture, so many things comes up into your application, right? So eventually the complexity of it increases, and because of that, whenever any issue occurs, whenever there is some disruption over there, it's usually very time taking to figure out, okay, where the actual issue is residing, right? Next, when we come telemetry spread across many tools. So even if you are using cloud, you have still third party tools as well. So observability, as you and I, everybody knows, is very critical for cloud operations. Your telemetry may include your logs, your metrics, your traces, right? And we have seen that data is often distributed across maybe your Amazon CloudWatch that you're using, or maybe New Relic, or maybe Dynatrace, Datadog, Sumo Logic, whatever third-party tools that you're using. So nowadays your telemetry is spread across many tools and not just one tool, which again makes it an even bigger concern. Okay, the data, you have to gather all of the data, you have to figure out from where the issue is happening, what is the real challenge behind it, right? So telemetry fragmentation is increasing a lot, and because of that, troubleshooting all of your issues or all of your complexity, delays comes into the picture. Moving forward, people. So we have fragmented expertise with, okay, I have write it incorrectly, the spelling is wrong, but we'll ignore that. We have fragmented expertise with distributed systems, right? Our teams nowadays contains junior engineers, intermediate engineers, we have AI agents, we have senior engineers. So operational expertise is very inconsistent. Some have very high level of expertise, some is just starting it out. So what we have seen is incident investigations becomes dependent on individual experience. So if some issue has gone to junior engineers, there might be some error that they might not have that level of maybe information or that level of experience. So again, fragmented expertise is there in all of our applications, in all of our distributed systems. Because of this, MTTR, which is market time to response, decreases sometimes. Operational consistency also becomes difficult in all of our large scale systems. So that is another major customer challenge that we have observed. And last one, firefighting versus systematic improvement, right? Operation teams often focus only on resolving immediate incidents, and there is limited time for maybe architectural review, going back and making sure do we need to review our architecture, long-term reliability, etc., right? So what happens is, right now we are just firefighting, or we are just putting out fires, we are just solving the problems that are occurring. But there is a higher possibility that if you have some systematic improvements, if you have if you go back, if you see maybe there is some issue in your architecture, but you don't have time for that, because firefighting, because of solving all of these issues, it takes a lot of your time, and you cannot actually focus on your code or focus on innovation or focus on solving the actual issue or preventing it from happening next time. So these are few of the customer challenges that we are seeing in DevOps role, in SRE role, every now and then, every day, right? Mostly. So What comes into picture is AWS DevOps Agent. What it does is it drives operational excellence with an autonomous AI agent. Now, make sure it is an autonomous AI agent and not an automatic AI agent, right? It will not go into your environment and remedy things without your permission. That's not the case over here. It is an autonomous AI agent which will resolve and it will proactively prevent all of your incidents happening in AWS, in multi-cloud, or on-prem. So yes, it's an AWS tool, but you can still use it for your Azure DevOps. You can still use it for your on-prem infrastructures and servers. So that's what DevOps Agent basically do. It goes to your environment, it sees whatever issues are happening, it will give you a root cause analysis of it, it will give you a prevention plan according to how you can prevent it to happen earlier, right? Or to happen next time. What it does is it gives you autonomous incident response. You don't have to wait for DevOps Agent that once you will tell them, hey, this is the issue. No, if you have any supporting tools in our organizations, what happening is we have different types of supporting tools. We have JSM, we have ServiceNow, we have Slack, where support request happens. So if your developer team has raised something, hey, this is an issue, we are having some 5xs error showing up, right? When the ticket has been created, an alert will be go to DevOps Agent, and it will automatically, based on the description of the ticket, will give you all of the information. So it will give you proactive incident prevention as well, how to prevent it from next time. You will get an entire plan out of it. And it will solve all of your on-demand SRE tasks. So this is a little bit about DevOps Agent. We'll show it in the management console, but I just wanted to show you this one scenario, the 2am page. So SRE engineers or someone who wanted to be into SRE or DevOps role will relate to this. There's some alert, elevated 5xx errors on your production API, right? What will an engineer experience at 2 a.m.? If I would be there, first I would be experiencing panic. Okay, what is happening? What the heck is happening right now, right? Then I'll just go into environment, I'll check my logs, I'll check CloudWatch, I'll see whatever things is happening, and it will take some time. It will, take almost 2 to 4 hours or 1 to 2 hours to manually resolve that issue. I'll wake up, open my laptop, check CloudWatch dashboards, search across multiple log groups, filter it out, correlates all of the metrics across services. There are n number of services, right? We'll review our recent deployments, who have done what activity, which caused the error, etc., etc. We'll trace all the dependencies, and then we'll form some hypotheses, test one by one. What's the solution? XYZ. It takes typically 1 to 2 hours, right? Now, how to do this in 5 to 10 minutes is what AWS DevOps Agent helps us. But moving there, you can also say that, hey, we have other AI tools as well, or hey, we have other coding tools which can help me to solve all of these things. Yes, but for that, first, you have to provide them entire context. You have to provide, hey, this is my EC2 instance, and EC2 instance doesn't come alone. It comes with net gateways, VPCs, it comes with security groups, and so many things. And the error can be in any of the things I just mentioned, right? So you have to tell your other AI tool or other coding tool all the context. But AWS DevOps Agent automatically gets all of the context. There is something called topology. I will tell you what topology is in next 5 minutes. So access, you have to provide some credentials as well to go into your environment and check, right? Setup, again, you have to set it up. You have to set up your AI agent with your AWS environment or make a bridge over there. You have to provide some learnings from your earlier investigation, some audits, etc., etc. But your DevOps agent already have all of this permission because it sits in your environment. It knows whatever services are going on over there. So instead of using any other AI tools or any other coding tools, you can definitely use, AWS DevOps Agent. And just wanted to show that why DevOps Agent is different from all of them. I mean, I have already showed you 1 or 2 examples about context and access and everything, but the 6 C's framework, first one, again, context, topology, intelligence. it knows what features are there, what services are there, what permissions have been given to all of your services, your users, etc., right? So it has all of the information about your context. B, you can see control. So there is something called agent spaces, where you can control to whom you want to give access to about of your DevOps agent, what accounts you want to give access to. Suppose you have your billing accounts, you don't want to give access of your billing account to AWS DevOps agent, that's fine. You have you have that capability to go ahead and add whatever accounts you want to put, to add other third party tools that you want to put. So it gives you control over choosing who should have access and what tools should have access and what accounts should have access. Moving forward, convenience. Zero per user setup. It's very easy to set it up. You have two different kinds of, one is management console, which is mainly used for administrators. One is web app, which is mainly used for operational people to go and figure out the investigation, root cause analysis, etc. So it's very convenient to set it up as compared to other AI tools. Collaboration. It gives you so many third-party collaboration as well. Slack, ServiceNow, PagerDuty. So all of these alerting tools that you might be using, all of the supporting tools that you might be using, you have direct communication, you have direct collaboration with it. So again, it's very easier to use. Next, continuous learning. So there is this thing called 3-tier skill hierarchy. It will also learn from all the incidents it goes through. Suppose today you have solved 5 incidents, it will give you the gap, it will give you future prevention plans, things like that. It will learn from those things. You can also have your MCP server integration. You can also create custom skills in AWS DevOps Agent. I will show all of them. We have Srinivasan talking about MCP integration and all. So it has like all of this continuous learning as well, and it is cost effective. There is this good news for new users, and in free tier you have like 2 months off, almost 2 months of free usage of AWS DevOps Agent. And apart from that, it is still cost effective. I will show you the pricing page as well. So we'll just jump into demo, and I'll just show you a little bit more about what is AWS DevOps Agent. I have discussed about key features, automated incident investigation, DevOps chat, etc. You have built-in integrations with GitLab, New Relic, Splunk, GitHub Actions, CloudWatch, Dynatrace, etc. So many things, right? Custom tools integration, MCP tools. Now, how it works? There are 2 types. One is DevOps agent space and one is DevOps agent topology. So I'll show you that in the console. But before moving to the console, I'll show you the benefits as well. I'm a little lazy, so I didn't include it in the PPT, but the best way to learn any service, and not just AWS, is to go through official documentation. So just make a habit. If you don't have a habit of reading official documentation, make a habit of it. Benefits are reduce mean time to resolution. So it will accelerate your issue resolving time from maybe 1 or 2 hours to 10 or 15 minutes. It prevents recurring incident. So if one incident is recurring like multiple time, it will tell you exactly what kind of issue is happening and how to resolve it, so that from the next time it doesn't happen. It improves your operational efficiency. It works within your existing workflows. These are few of the benefits, right? I also want to show you this pricing. So if you are using free tier, and if you have just started using AWS DevOps Agent, you will receive a 2-month free trial starting with your first operational task. There are some limitations. You can create up to 10 agent spaces, 20 hours of investigation, etc. But this is still more than enough. And if you're doing any challenge after this, I think it'll be helpful for you. It won't cost you that much. Second, if you're into any organization, if you're paying for basically any type of support, you still get credits to use AWS DevOps Agent. So basically, if you're paying $100 of support every month, you get $30 of credit. And this is just one of the example of it. So yes, if you are in any organization, if you want to play around AWS DevOps Agent using your organization's account, you can still do it. You can make aware about your team that, hey, we're getting free credits, which we might not be using it. So why not, right? We will go into this demo as well. First, I will just show you. I have this DevOps agent repository. I'll put it into chat so that you can take it whenever you want. I have also added today's PPT over here. This is a YAML file which we will going to upload into CloudFormation to create our architecture, which is basically there's like admin or developer who is trying to access EC2. And in this EC2, I have set up a CloudWatch alert where if it increases beyond 70%, if CPU utilization increases beyond 70%, it will alert you and further disrupt it from working. You have key pair, you have security groups. I've added public route table as well. And over here in user data script, I have added this stress test script. What it basically do is it will increase your CPU consumption just to test it out and for nothing else. So this is a really basic architecture. I will also share this link with you. But what you have to do is, if you want to perform this experiment, download it from here, create EC2. Just you have to download the file. I already have the file downloaded. So I'll go into my AWS management console. I will go into CloudFormation and yeah, let's just set up our EC2 instance. Then we'll head back to AWS DevOps Agent and it would be easier. You can choose it you can build from Infrastructure Composer, but we already have an existing template. So we will choose an existing template. We will upload the template. This is the one I want to open. It will give me an S3 URL. I'll just click on next. You can provide the stack name. I'll just provide test1 over here. Either you can restrict it to any specific IP, maybe of your system, or you can keep it open. I'll keep it open as of now. Moving forward, you can add any tags if you want to add. It's always a best practice. And any permissions if you want to add any. But apart from that, you don't have to do anything else in this. You can just click next. You can review everything. If you're good with it, click on submit. And this will take almost like 2 to 3 minutes to roll up. But while we are waiting for that, we'll go back to AWS DevOps Agent. So again, what you have to do is search over here, AWS DevOps Agent. Don't go to DevOps Guru. You have to go to DevOps Agent. Click on it. And you will see something like this. So I have already created one agent space. Now, what is agent space? Already told you, it is like a logical container where you can select what all things you want to put it in that space. It can be your AWS accounts, it can be your third-party tools, it can be few users who should have access to your AWS DevOps agent, right? So it's kind of a logical container. How to create one? Just click on this, create agent stake, give name. I'll just give AWS UGMDU meetup and description, creating this to test a demo. You can select any language that you want. I will keep no preferred languages. If you have any preferred languages, you can select it from there. Now, you have to create some roles, or you have to give some role to your AWS DevOps agent. You can assign an existing one, you can create with a policy template, or you can create auto create one, right? We will keep auto create one. Again, if you want to change the name over here, you can do that as well. Enable web app. So yes, I've told you, right? There are two type of access in this AWS DevOps agent. One is your management console access, which looks like this. It is mostly for administrators to create agent spaces for you. Second one is your web app. It is mostly for operations people or DevOps people to go there and investigate any incident. So again, I am choosing auto create a new role. There are advanced configuration. If you want to do any, simply click on create and it will create an agent space for you. So meanwhile this is creating, we'll just see if our, okay, you can see here the task is completed. So our infrastructure is ready. To check it, I'll go into EC2 and I'll see that if my instance is up and running or not. All right, I can see one instance running over here. Perfect. If I select this, if I go into monitoring, it is taking a little bit to fetch the data, but that's fine. We can see our instances running over here. We'll move back to our AWS DevOps agent and we can see that agent space is created successfully, right? Zero relationships mapped so far because we have not done anything, but we'll go into the capabilities access and configuration part. So in this screen, what new you can see is A, operator access. There are some actions. You can edit your agent space, you can disable operator access, you can delete your agent space. We don't want to do it right now. Only there is one account right now because this is my primary account, so you can see what kind of accounts are there in your agent space. If you want to add any secondary accounts, you can add it from here. It can be AWS, it can be Azure, right? Telemetry data, so you can add Dynatrace, you can add your Datadog account. You just have to add a source. You can add Grafana, you can add New Relics, Splunk, whatever third-party telemetry tool or observability tool you are using, you can simply add it over here. It's as easy. Pipelines, so if you're using GitHub, GitLab, whatever pipelines you're using, you have Azure DevOps as well, you can just add it over here. Communications, I have mentioned Slack, ServiceNow, PagerDuty, whatever tool you are using. If you feel like integrating it with your AWS DevOps agent, you can go to communications, you can add it. MCP servers, I'm sure after this session you'll be doing this, so I'll just skip to the next part. Webhooks, you can add your webhooks as well over here. We don't want to do it right now, so I'll just let that go. And yeah, so these are all of the kind of capabilities that comes within your DevOps agent. Access, two types of access. Web app link, so this is operator access. When I'll click on this, it will show you something kind of a console or something, maybe you're using some app like VS Code or something like that. You will get this chat, you will get all of the incidents, improvements, topology. Okay, topology, what is topology? Topology means your, in very simple term, it's your resource lineage, right? What all resources are there, how it is connected with each other, what comes inside it. So right now it is still learning about it, so it'll take a little bit of time. So that is about access, how to use it. Configuration, again, you have like encryptions, tags, etc, etc, etc. Now you can see 150 relationships mapped. So it was like getting started. Coming back to this one, we have created an EC2 instance and right now I want to connect it. So I'll just use instance connect for this. Very simple. I have used Linux as an operating system. So let's see if this gets connected. And what we are doing is, right now we have very less consumption, we have not used any CPU. What we want to do is we want to spike it up to 70% or more than that. So what happens is we can see if there are any issues because we have this stress test script going on, right? So I will just clear this and /cpu stress test.sh. This is the file I want to run. Okay, it says starting stress test 5 minutes. This will generate greater than 70% CPU usage. I will again, write it for once more and let's see. We'll go back over here. Let's try to update this and let's see if we have any spikes in our monitoring. It is still taking some time to come over here. All right. I can see a little bit of the data, but we have not seen any data over here. We can see a little bit rise in this one. So what we can do is we can go back. I'm just taking this instance ID because I don't have any tool to show you any, ServiceNow or any other supporting tools to show you the collaboration. But what I can do is I can go into incidents and I can start an investigation. Over here, you can Just select what you want to do. I want to check what issue is with my instance, with instance ID this, and I will just press on start investigation and it will try to, okay, I'll just go back and I don't want to put anything else. Start. Okay, start investigating. Let's see what happens. No execution trace. I'll just check onto topology. Do we have any accounts over here? Or else I'll go back to my EC2 instance and we'll try to test it once more, increasing the load. Incidents. Okay, we'll just go back to here and we'll check it once more if we have any increase. Yes, there is a little bit spike over here and we can see 1%, 7%. I'll try to run it once more. It is going higher. Okay, we should be able to see over here now. So it has started by 10:52. You can see the time investigating this one. I'll investigate this incident. So what it will do is it will make some API calls in the background. If you want to see, you can check it from here. These are the 3 calls it has made. Since no specific details were given, I need to discover what's happening in the environment. It is starting to make some calls in your AWS environment. You can see I found an active alarm. So because our 70% increased, there was an alarm. There's an EC2 CPU utilization that transitioned to alarm state, etc., etc. Utilization above 70%. Let me get the more details. So it is still calling 2 other calls. It's a describe instance, expression, etc., etc. It is going to check CPU metrics, CloudTrail changes. It has a clear picture. The instance named this was launched just 8 minutes before. Now it is also telling you when the instance is launched. I am using my primary account, my root account, but if you're using any user, any other IAM user, it will also tell you that this was launched by this IAM user, right? Let me also check the instance user data. So it is checking the user data. Now I have manually not provided that I have added any type of stress test into user data script, but it will go on its own and it will try and check it. And it says, excellent, the user data reveals everything. Let me decode what I see. This is a deliberate CPU stress test. It is also telling me that this one is a deliberate one and it is not an accidental one. It runs all of these commands. The CPU usage spike up to 80 plus average, etc., etc. It also shows me all of the graphs coming from here. CloudFormation stack test 1 created this. So it also shows me that how it was created using CloudFormation, Terraform, manually. Root user connected to instance. When we have connected to instance connect time, you can see a very detailed report within 2 minutes, right? And I'll just reduce this one. You can see the symptom and finding. So over here, it is just doing observation. It is just making all the calls and doing some observation. You can see the symptom. It is giving you a detailed symptom of it. It is giving you a detailed finding about it. User manually executed CPU stress test script via SSH session. Deliberate test infrastructure deployed to trigger CPU alarm, right? It will also give you RCA, root cause analysis. So I know manually when before 4 years, before the invention of generative AI and ChatGPT and everything comes into picture, finding a root cause analysis, putting it into a documentation by, sending it to your executives and senior leaders, it was a task and it was a task. Now you got everything over here. You can see root cause. You can go to your root cause. It will give you investigation summary. It can also generate a mitigation plan for you if you need it. It will give you impact. what is the impact by this one. It will give you key findings as well. So you can see how in detail it can give you all of the information. Now, this was a very simple example. Again, if you had some application which is not reachable, you are getting 4xx errors, you are getting 5xx error. There are multiple reasons for that, right? So just imagine how easier this would be to get a root cause analysis. If you are a DevOps or SRE engineer, you're getting a page at 2 or 3 in the morning. The moment you open your laptop, you already have this plan to you, and you don't have to go back to your CloudWatch alarm, so you don't have to go back to logs, traces, metrics, whatever we are doing, right? If you go into, so this comes under incident, right? If you go into improvements, what you can do is you can run now. Since this was a manual triggered thing, it might not give me anything fruitful. But if there are some architectural mistakes in your execution, or which you can prevent it from next time, maybe your load balancer is not working as you want it to be, so that will give you a prevention plan as well, which you can get it over here. So I have just put it into run now, and I know it will not give me anything useful right now, but still, let's see what it does give me. I'm still not sure if topology is generated or not, so I just wanted to see. Okay, in here you can see topology. You have some text, infrastructure, subnet. So what topology does it, as I've mentioned earlier, gives you resource lineage, entire graph of all of your resources in your account, or whatever permissions you have given your AWS DevOps agent to use. You can get it from there. And coming back to improvement, it is still running. So I'm not sure if it will. It normally takes like 2 to 3 minutes to give you an entire evaluation result. So we will not wait for that, but I will still show you a few other things. So this is how you work using web app. This is your web app where you go to detect your issues. This is your management console. What you do is this is for your administrator to maybe connect your agent spaces, to see what all capabilities are there, Azure DevOps, this to connect all of your third-party tools, right? Going back to our agent space, I just wanted to see if I have missed anything to show you. For MCP server, you will be having, so I will not show you over here, but again, you have like cloud, telemetry, pipeline, communication, MCP server. You can use and integrate it over here, access, configuration. We have covered like almost everything. I wanted to make sure that there is not a single term that you are not aware about. And do I have any recommendations over here? Nope, not right now. We'll go back to our PPT. And this is basically what I have copied from AWS's PPT when they showed me about AWS DevOps Agent in our organization. Benefits: MTTR reduced by 75%, and we have seen that the issue that might take maybe 30 minutes to 1 hour get resolved in 5 minutes. Investigation time 80% faster. Root cause analysis accuracy is 94%, which is really good. Resolution speed is 8.5x faster, and productivity gain is 57 hours per month. Just imagine if you are getting extra 57 hours per month, you can actually use it for innovation, for writing other code, for coming up with new features, instead of doing all of these manual, duplicated efforts for resolving the issues. Okay, if you're someone who has just heard about AWS DevOps Agent or not tried it yet, how to have a quick start? You can create your own agent space, as I've shown you. Very simple. You can create it within 2 minutes. Connect your tools if you have any. Run your first investigation. It can be manual triggered, as I have done it, or if you have an environment where you already have so many resources going on which have some issues, many applications running, you can use it for that. Reinvestigate a recent issue, might be occurred before 30 days or something like that. This is the launch blog, best practices blog, and a workshop. I will also share links of this. If you want to take a screenshot, take it. But I will also share links of all of this in the chat after the session, so it's easier for you to go back and learn about it. And yeah, go build. I mean, this is my favorite image, and that's what I tell to everybody. Just go try it out, see if you like it, see if it's helpful for you. and build things from that, right? If you have any questions, I am all open, and I know I'm mostly connected with most of you folks, but still there is my LinkedIn QR. If in case you want to connect with me, you can connect with me over here, and I will go back to my screen and I will wait for any other questions that we have. Yes, I did have some. I'll start from the last one. What is the recommended pattern to connect AWS DevOps Agent via MCP? So for MCP, I think Srinivasan would be the correct person to answer
True.
you.
Yes.
And what is
So
the topology? I don't know why it's.
yeah,
Is my
I
voice?
just put it up on the screen. Is it echoing? Sorry.
No.
Okay, cool. It's on the screen. So question is on the screen. Go ahead.
I notice the topology is marked as learned. Does the DevOps agent continuously learn from previous incidents? And yes, DevOps agent continuously learn from all of your previous incident. The one thing that we were trying to see is run now, right? We were trying to get some mitigation plan out of it, some improvement plan. But you can manually trigger it. You can put it like from all the incident you have to keep continuously running, or you can put it weekly. You have to go through all of the incident of past 1 week and you have to try to learn from it. So yes, it does continuously learn. Apart from that, if you have some run books, some playbooks where you have earlier investigations, what you have done, what were in your organization, how to resolve the issues, you can feed it as a skill to your AWS DevOps agent, and it will learn from that as well. So yes, to answer your question.
Yeah. Then going to the next question. So we have it from Yogesh.
Can AWS DevOps Agent integrate with Argo City for Kubernetes workloads in a GitOps workflow? I guess there's no direct integration. There's no direct integration for Argo City, but for GitHub and GitLab, you have integration right now for GitOps. Just last week, I had meeting with AWS team, and they are working on so many other integrations as well. So they will provide a direct integration to this. Even right now for Slack, you have one-way communication, right? So it will give you all of the when you are getting the support ticket, DevOps agent will start working on it. But you cannot go back and talk with your DevOps agent what is the incident plan. But AWS team is working on it, on that feature as well, so that you don't have to go inside and get a summary of it. So yes, they are still working on so many integration. Right now we don't have a direct one. Even I asked the same question to them for our DevOps team. All right.
Yes. I'll go with the next question, but there is already answer in the chat, but we'll first discuss the answer, then we will revisit the answer from the chat. Yeah.
All right.
The question is
Primary and
about
secondary
primary and secondary sources.
Is this to manage the list of accounts to monitor using DevOps agent enabled in single account? Also, please share the best practice in managing this agent. You have a best practice blog. If I'll tell you all of the best practice, it'll take a lot of time. So that's where I have shared the best practice blog. You can go through that blog. It will give you step-by-step details and about secondary accounts to add. I think it's like how many accounts you want to give permission to your DevOps agent to go and try to investigate about all of the issues, or what kind of resources it should have access to in your accounts. So it's like additional account that you are adding in your one single account.
Yeah. So I think Yogesh went ahead and answered from his experience. Yeah, pretty much what Omshri has iterated. So it's so good one,
And
Yogesh, as
it has
well.
all the read-only roles. It doesn't have any write role or things like that. As I've mentioned earlier, it's autonomous. It's not automatic. It will not go ahead and do anything on behalf of you.
Correct. Yeah. So one of the last questions of the session is about whether it could extend for on-prem and multi-cloud.
Yes, AWS team has said that you can use it for multi-cloud and on-prem as well. For Azure, we have seen that it has direct integration in the capabilities section. If you go and under capabilities, when you go to cloud, you have AWS and Azure integration. Also, if you go a little bit down in pipeline, you have Azure DevOps integration as well. So these are the direct integrations. For on-prem, I think they will provide a direct integration for maybe Google or any other cloud. They will provide direct integration in future. It's like been 1 month. It is generally available. So I think they are still working on so many of the features right now. But yeah, it does work for multi-cloud and on-prem and not just AWS.
Yeah, perfect. Yes. So
Fine,
I think
interesting.
that concludes the questions that we have, and feel free to shoot up the questions in the chat as well. So we will be still in the chat to get your questions answered, and also stay tuned because we are also bringing up quiz by the end of the next session. So all the learnings that you took from Omshri sessions will be also there. Yeah, great. And
And thank you everyone. I'm still here, so you can shoot the questions in chat and I'll be able to.
perfect. Yes, Madhumita. Yeah.
Yeah. So if there are any more questions, you can shoot it out in the comment section. Should we wait for a few minutes for the questions, or?
I think we'll take it offline. Yeah, that should be fine. Yes.
Okay, all right then. So, Shri, thank you for joining us today in this morning. It's very special having you here. Sunday morning, 10 a.m. It's very special. So, really, really thank you for attending and sharing your insights with us. We had a really, really good
I
session.
enjoyed meeting the community, and it's, I can say so far, one of the most engaging community as well. So I always wanted to come and talk with you all guys. So it's wonderful. Thank you for having
Sure,
me.
we
Thank
will
you.
loop you in for the next ACD Madurai with we are hosting it by
So
this year.
I would
So
love that. I would love that.
yeah, perfect, great. Thank you, and
Thank
over
you.
to Madhumita again, and see you
Yeah.
soon. So Omshri, yeah.
So I hope everyone in watching the live session has like listened and learned, because we are having a quiz session, a quick quiz session at the end, and you'll get a chance to have a lots of swag, exclusive badges. So be prepared for that. So for our next session, we have another brilliant mind of our very own local community. Because if you have attended any one of our AWS user group Madurai's in-person event or the online event, there is no way you missed him, because he never misses it. And he's active member in the community and contributing to make this community bigger and better space to learn. So let me welcome Srinivasan sir, cloud architect at PwC, 10x times AWS certified, on the stage, please. So, hi, sir. How's it going?
Thank you, Malinda. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. And yeah, happy to work with all of you, the core team as well, and then next gen community here.
Yes.
Yeah, and not just that in Madurai. So if you see him in Bangalore, if there's an event in Bangalore, you will see him in Bangalore as well. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like about to ask you a question about that. So, in the recent months and in the like past few months, I've seen like you've been exploring from Bangalore Summit to AI Conclave. Like you've been exploring a lot of community spaces, not even in the Madurai, also in Bangalore and many more spaces. And you must have like interacted and engaged with a lot of people there. A lot of peer-to-peer learning might have happened there. So, what's your favorite journey or a destination that you went that you felt like, oh, this is good, everybody should attend? Because a lot of students, like young developers, young people that are starting, like are hesitant to go to this big events because like starting troubles, you could say. So anything that you experience that you definitely want to share here?
It's an interesting question, Aditya. So my involvement of patient is about, I'm fully working from home. So I need to meet people. It's all virtual always. So I want to have that in-person interactions. So always visit this kind of meetup, so that apart from the office environment, you get to meet different people, you get to know what they're building. And for the events, you could say AWS Summit is one of the one, because you get to learn a lot. So a spectrum of activities going on. There are sessions, there are builder zones, there is a developer community zone, certification launch. There are multiple things, and it's a free of cost. So if any student community or early professionals, if they want to not to miss anything, obviously monthly meetups are the key. You can always attend that nearby your community, but once in a year appear for that AWS Summit. So if the scale is large, then you could learn more things from there.
Yeah. So also there was a great way of expressing. So, and also like like we all know that you are also AWS certified. Anything that you want to say to the young developers, like those who
Yeah.
want to pursue the certifications and all?
Thank you, Nida. So certifications are a real world skill that you can show to the another potential employer or to get a recognition. But the core thing is that learning and mastering it than a credential. So anyone starting now, go build things. I think Omshri also mentioned in the last slide. If you want learning cloud practitioner, do some S3 bucket hosting, do some basic Lambda functions. And if you take a serious approach, like go for a practitioner, then go for associate, and wait for professional. So it should not be kind of an exam question bank dump. It's always read, take some question bank, understand where are your gray areas, go back, build something. There are always amazing stuff from the community side as well. And also in the AWS GitHub samples, go build some API gateway, do some deployment on it. Think about the fault tolerance, the resilience. How can you improve the resiliency of it? Ask yourself multiple questions and bring the solution to the rest of the standard. Explore the well-architected framework. Even you do this, eventually you will learn stuff that certification doesn't guarantee. So even my career, right? Before I joined my company PwC, I didn't have any certification, not even one. Now fast forward, I have 10 because my employer sponsors it. I also have patience to learn that. It doesn't mean that certifications are a only thing. You can always learn, and whenever there's a chance, the community will help you with some vouchers, other opportunities in the skill builder side as well. Always keep the doors open for learning.
Yes. Then of course I would like invite you to join the circle feature, like the feature that we Vivek Raja like explored about. We have that feature in our website. Like I would definitely request you to join it and share so many insights with us, with the community. It would be great learning with you. So if it's okay, then we can move on to your session. Yeah.
Thank you for setting that context, Madhurika. I think I'm sharing my screen. Am I able to see it now?
Yeah, sure.
Able to see it now?
Your screen is not
Yes, I'm putting it. Yep, now it's visible. Yes.
okay.
No,
Thank you.
it has again gone. Just 1 second. Let me try. Yeah, now it's visible. Yes.
Okay, good. So just setting the context here, right? So this is a skill builder, like builder sprint, and a DevOps edition. A fantastic topic is AWS DevOps Agent. Thank you, all of you, as the organizer, the people who join as well on a Sunday afternoon to learn more about DevOps. And it's indeed one of the most fascinating topic involving AI, MCPs into your DevOps lifecycle. And Omshri did a beautiful part. She covered most of the fundamental stuff, keeping me very light. So I'll rush through a few sections where it is going to be repeating, and then I will deep dive into sections where you need more understanding about integrating MCP servers and how can we create a simple MCP server and integrating that with your agent space for DevOps agent. So what we'll cover today, around 6 different topics. Just a basic introduction, what is MCP? By this time, everyone will know what is MCP. It's a trending topic everywhere on YouTube or Instagram, so we'll not go deeper into it. MCP architecture, what are the MCP servers, tools, clients, how they talk with relevant to AWS DevOps Agent here. And a simple demo test, I think it's also covered by Omshri as well. Little bit we'll go deeper and see how the MCP integration will extend that capability to another level. And how can we integrate the CloudWatch webhooks, these MCP skills into your DevOps agent workflow. And then we'll see a full demo of it covering this, all the pieces. So a typical scenario, I think it would be like kind of thinking like this is a typical scenario everyone is taking as an example, but indeed it's true if you go for enterprises, right? So even though you have all the documentation, proactive monitoring, all the maintenance scripts, this is something which always nightmares the SRE person or on-call person. Eventually, this stuff can also be done by a well-experienced SRE. A person, moment they understand there is a CloudWatch alarm hitting your CPU utilization or typical HTTP error codes, right? So they know 502 is related to gateway timeout, 503 is related to another one. So where they should look at? They should look at a target group. They should look at inside the server, or they should go and run some custom scripts to get that postmortem done. So, but we always cannot have the SME in the SRE field always with you at the midnight, right? Or in the business hours. They may be taking another meeting, they may be doing some feature requests, they may be with another client call. You can't always pull them for a quick scenarios, but you cannot leave this as well. The typical timestamp kind of a thing, you have a simple EC2 CPU utilization is hitting high, multiple alarms are fired. I mean, you get a notification in your Slack channels, PagerDuty, whatever integration that you have it, the alarms are breached, and then immediately the higher order team begins the investigation because it's a production investigation and business impact is there. So they always begin the investigation, and they will again end up in a big war room kind of situation if it is not so simple. And eventually they'll find the root cause, they will document it for the next execution. Now, when we integrate this with a DevOps agent, what will happen? Because DevOps agent is nothing but your AI agent. When you say AI, it's nothing but LLM model and with access to specific tools, right? So AWS runs this on a specific AWS native LLM model behind, and they give multiple integrations with their platform. So AWS knows there is a cloud trail, there's a cloud watch. They try to gather the reasoning behind it. When like the cloud trail has all the API activities when a specific server was launched, and it tries to gather the cloud watch metrics as well if it is configured. So AWS knows their infrastructure layer very well, so they know how to play with it for a given incident. So the DevOps agent does that without any custom integration out of the box, right? But it cannot go inside your EC2. If the root cause that you found is inside an EC2 machine, you cannot simply allow your AI agent, an LLM, to run specific commands inside an EC2 machine, right? Because you need to run some specific commands or take an application level insights, what's happening in my application. Again, quote unquote, if you have an Dynatrace or App Dynamics or specific application monitoring tools, then again, you would get a notification there and you will get a pretty detailed understanding. But you cannot simply allow an AI agent to do that. And what if we don't have those real-time observability tech stack and we want to create our own integrations where you can run your custom scripts, what an SRE would run in the event of a downtime or a kind of a high priority errors. We generally used to run some shell commands like get a SSH into the machine, list the process, check the memory and disk, everything is coming up between the machine and the CloudWatch agent correctly, and maybe third-party APIs. But DevOps agent out of the box cannot do this unless you say what command you want to run, and those should be very much tied to a read command, not execute or clear some files. And you need a more defined context, right? So this is where MCPs come in. MCP is nothing but hands-on tools for your AI agent. And with that said, I think we all by this time would have known in this AI world what is MCP, nothing but an USB Type-C port for your AI models. And three things are common here as a primitive. One is a standard protocol. There is a JSON-RPC 2.0. This is a protocol for every MCP. Nevertheless, you connect to the cloud, cursor, hero, anti-gravity, anything in the world, right? So JSON-RPC is the way of communicating or initializing your MCP server connection from an AI agent. So over STDIO or HTTP, but for DevOps agent, it only supports the streamable HTTP as a medium to connect with it. And any language, you can have a Node.js based software stack inside the MCP code, or you can have a Python based, it can be Windows OS or a Linux OS, it doesn't matter. The platform of the MCP server. And in the tool definition, MCP is just a server. You need to expose the tools and register the tools inside the MCP server and also expose it to an AI model. So you want to get the log location, you want to let the running process, you want to get the memory, you want to get where are my application configurations stored, where are the certificates locally stored. If you can have a shell script to get this, which an SRE would do, you can automate that. You can put that as a small wrapper inside an MCP tool, and you can expose that to a DevOps agent and give proper description to it when to use which tool. And then it seamlessly does that and give you an investigation summary. We'll see that all in a demo. I think it's going to be a repetition of what I said here. You have an AI model, you have an MCP client. Client is already built into the agent. You run your server, a Python server, and you need a compute for this. So this is going to be your Lambda function, because you're going to simple MCP server. You're not going to have put an Apache or Nginx on it to serve your workload. Right? It's just a basic wrappers to help your investigation. And here our use case is the EC2 troubleshooting. So EC2 means you run the commands using an SSM run command or a session manager. So we can have few custom commands that an SRE would run, wrap that into SSM run command, and you can run it with your MCP tool. A typical syntax, you want to list the tool with listing the process, list the top CP process, fetch your instance ID from an agent context. So you can give all this in your Lambda function, and you can expose it. And moving over, how we can expose this MCP servers to your DevOps agent, right? So you have a server running on your VPC, and DevOps agent, it's running on an AWS managed networking side, right? Whenever you create an agent space, you are not going to set agent space to sit on my VPC. Here is my subnet route table. No, it runs on an AWS side, right? So by default, like how AWS Lambda runs on AWS managed VPC, something similar to that. It's nothing but an agent. Now, by default, it connects over the public network, which means agent connects to public internet and it can come to your MCP server over public internet. But this is something an anti-pattern for your enterprises, right? When you say the enterprises, you have servers running on a private subnet, and it's a company confidential data. You can't allow it to put on a public subnet, and DevOps agent cannot directly go and talk with the private subnet. You have to allow the ingress and egress part of it, route tables part of it. So we have to look from an enterprise lens, because we are taking this for our enterprises, right? Actual account workloads. So DevOps agent gives you option to set this private connections using a concept called as VPC lattice. VPC lattice is nothing but an application-based networking solution with a lot of layered security, and AWS uses that to expose your MCP tools, so that the traffic is fully on a private network. You have an VPC endpoints to connect to that. You have a prefix list to manage that. Let me go in simple details. It's not going to be very complex. Very simple thing. If we understand this, I think we can able to master this MCP connectivity. Because the moment you pitch this to your teammates or a company, they would always ask that, will it clear my security audit? Can I control where this talks to? So the access and compliance scoping is very important in enterprises. That's why I'm giving you two routes here. One is the Lambda function URL, because your MCP is a simple wrapper and you want to run it on a Lambda function because it doesn't go beyond 15 minutes. In that case, we can go for an ECS Fargate approach. So in this today example, I took a Lambda as a small compute that can run the SSM run command against your machine, right? So Lambda as a function URL, if you would have prepared for an essay associate or a basic, if you explore the Lambda service, you can get an endpoint for your Lambda as a function URL, and that function URL is going to be a publicly exposed one. So AWS gives that. And for any public service, AWS has a prefix list from their side to allow the traffic to your endpoint. There's no load balancer API gateway needed. You configure your MCP as a Lambda, you configure your Lambda as an MCP endpoint, and then you can directly hit it. It will work perfectly fine. I'll show you in a demo. Second case, when you pitch it to an enterprise, you have to host your Lambda in a VPC. You cannot host Lambda in your AWS managed VPC, right? And when you put a Lambda in your VPC, you have to expose that VPC Lambda through a private REST API gateway, because API gateway by default it's public. You have to put it a REST API as a private, and you control with all those resource policies so that only a specific VPC endpoint can hit your API gateway, right? This way you cover your Lambda in an API gateway, and API gateway, you can expose it to the DevOps through private connection. I will show this in a console. So through our discussions, this is a typical architecture diagram. I put a very simplified version. There are multiple IAM roles associated with agent spaces, IAM roles associated with the Lambda function, with the instance, resource policy with API gateway. I don't want to make it look complex. Let's take one step at a time. You launch the AWS DevOps Agent service. You create your agent space for your account. So I think Omshri explained clearly. You have a topology created. So it's a relationship between different resources in your account. So it scans the instance that you have. It scans all the IAM roles that you have, all the CloudWatch log groups, CloudWatch metrics, alarms, whatever you have in your account. It's all being traced and given to a specific agent space. And by default, for incident triage, it has access to the CloudTrail and CloudWatch, but it cannot run anything on your instance, right? And even if you want to run SSM command, the agent cannot go and establish a session manager to run on your EC2. This is completely prohibited for security reasons. But you want to run some commands in your downtime or during an incident analysis, right? To get your instance back or to do a postmortem. That's where we gonna execute these commands from a Lambda function. So you have an EC2, you have to have an instance profile that allows your machine to onboard to session manager, which is quite common in any enterprise, or when we do in our self-learn, right? You can put a private instance as private, give it an instance permission to onboard it to system manager. You can connect to the browser without SSH keys, right? Now your Lambda will be given permissions to run SSM commands, and it runs through 443. So it's full HTTPS connection. It's private by default. And those scripts you convert as a wrappers and expose them MCP tools. You have a tool for your log collection. You have a tool for getting the file storage. You can expose those simple scripts as a wrappers. And this Lambda be registered through your API gateway. You have one API, big REST API gateway. And it's all VPC. So have VPC endpoint or execute API specific resource. Put it with the DevOps agent. The DevOps agent, it knows it has the integration with MCP, so it knows when it has to call this MCP. And when the agent decided to call this MCP, it tries to go a private route, and then it hits the machine, right? Let's see this in a small demo. Let's first see how to register. I mean, let's go through the MCP server. I created one simple one to show this today. And then a typical test, which Omshri also did it. Let's do a CPU spike. And I've integrated a CloudWatch through Lambda and Webhook, automated this one. So the moment you run your CPU spike test, alarms are triggered. Alarms will send a payload to a DevOps agent. DevOps agent gets into the machine through the MCP server and gives you the finding. Let's go through this demo. Let me stop this slide and then get into the account. So can you be able to see my browser with the account? Good. So just directly go into log in your account, go to the AWS DevOps Agent service. I created 2 agent spaces. Just ignore this one from the hackathon. But you have a DevOps Agent demo that is given here. It's a very plain web space. I just created yesterday, 23.5. This is a primary account. I don't have any cross accounts now, but you can, if you want to add cross accounts, you can just add AWS account, or even Azure subscription. One of the users asked in the chat, how can I connect to Azure? Yeah, you can obviously absolutely connect to Azure. You just need to give your the configurations that's needed for Azure. What is your registration name? And then it has a specific process to connect to Azure. It's all documented. But for now, we are only taking into the single account. The primary source account is this ID. And the capabilities, I'll just go through very quickly. Telemetry, if you want to add your observability pillar, Dynatrace, Datadog, Grafana, Neuralink to your DevOps agent to give context, you can do that here. Everything has a specific process to connect through OAuth client. And when you have this stack in your company, obviously you'll have these details to connect to that particular tech stack. And sources, I think you can add a pipeline as well. I had one sample repository. I just checked whether it can able to give some answers. What was the last deployment? What's in this repository? You can ask that chat as well. It is fully possible. And if you made full connections with it, you can literally not only use it for this incident triage, you can also use it for your DevOps best practices as well. Communication side, if you want to connect with your Slack, ServiceNow, trace a ticket, you run an incident, you want to submit an IT ticket to ServiceNow, you can do that. PagerDuty and Slack for your typical instance messaging within your team, you can still do that. Just click on it, it requires you to give your authentication. Just provide these values and then it should be good. You can establish a proper connection if everything is set well. Not going to go deeper here. It's trying to connect to some different Slack. I already have it, so I'm not going to do that now. I will close this. Let's go back to the agent space, and there's an MCP server section. For now, I'm not going to add any MCP. We'll go through the Lambda function, how the MCP is created. Let's do some chat with agent space to see if it can do without a MCP. And then let's add MCP and ask something extra that's very specific to MCP. Okay. And I have a webhook as well. Webhook, nothing but to trigger your integrations with other components. I created this webhook so that I can connect your CloudWatch alarms directly to this, so that you don't need to chat in the window to tell any errors or alarms. It's automatically connected from the alarm triggering point to the incident resolution. We'll see this in a demo as well. So it's a plain agent space, and every agent space get a operator access page. I think Omshri covered it pretty decently. If you click on this link, authentication happens through IAM user, but if you are an enterprise, you have an identity center, then I think it connects with your Active Directory, the service accounts, mapping, everything can be done. So I opened a new DevOps agent. This is a chat window. Think it like a chat bot, like any company would have it, right? I think now every company has it to give you a glimpse about the company documentation. Think it's a major chatbot which has the CloudTrail, CloudWatch as context, and also you're going to extend the context through the MCP agent. Okay, so I'm just going to say, let's greet with hello, and just get going. Let's list all the servers that we have here. Could you list all the servers in this account? So it makes an AWS API call to describe the instances, and then it tries to find there is one machine called as SRE test machine. It's running in a T3 micro. If I go to an EC2 instance page, I think I should go here. Yeah, you have a machine running here, right? So DevOps agent knows it because it is good in doing an API call. So it can find that, right? But if I get into this machine, I have a small Apache page running. I put a public so that I can hit it and show you here. With the public API, and I would say there's a small SRE agent test server. It's just running an Apache server, right? Nothing but just a small index HTML page running it. Now let's go and chat about it. I should not go here. Sorry. So let's ask it to list all the running process here. Could you list all the running process inside this machine? So it doesn't have MCP by default. It should not go into the machine. So it should deny now. I don't have access to do that. I'm not able to process running inside an EC2 instance directly. That would require an operating system access like SSH or session manager, right? And if you want to check the files or like the size of the file system, it cannot do it, right? Literally can't do it. But now we need certain access to run some commands during this troubleshooting phase or automated analysis. So we're going to extend the capabilities with an MCP server. Okay, an MCP server instance, we need to run those SSM commands, right? So I've created one Lambda function for that. You see here, this is a Lambda function, simple DevOps agent, MCP SSM inspector. I just give a simple name. And if I go into this Lambda function, right, I'll just split into two so that you can see it here. So a typical Lambda function, how it would look like, you have to give your libraries, import Boto3, import OS, all these commands. Our client is going to be system manager. So you have that here. And you run those commands we all want to run the AWS run shell script by passing some commands based on our requirement. And we need to expose the tools as well. So you have your tools listed here. You want to get the running process on the server, the given instance ID. We are not going to hardcode anything here. The agent has to give the instance ID during the runtime. Get the log locations, get the app configuration, get the certificate expiry. Those are all placeholders. But then you have the tool commands listed down here. These are the commands I'm going to do it for a specific process. I'll just do a PS AUX. List the running process. Get the log location with the var log. This is simple for an Apache HTTPD, but it would change for your Nginx or Tomcat, and this all can be created automatically through AI when we have the runbooks for our execution. All the app configuration files, disk and memory can do that. DFFNH is a typical command, right? So we create a tool call. We put which command it has to be executed, and the important thing is your handlers, right? Because it's an AI tool. It's a Lambda, right? So it each has to know that this Lambda is not nothing but a small Lambda. It's an MCP server. So the agent has to treat this as an MCP server. So you need to have a protocol handlers, which we would say the agent needs to initialize this, connect to this Lambda, understand the scope of work. So we mentioned before there's a JSON-RPC connection, right? So you have to have few methods inside it to establish that this Lambda can act as an MCP tool. You have all the initialization commands, the tools list that you have to list, what all tools it can do, and tools call. You have to mention all of them. Once you do this, I think the Lambda will act as an MCP server, and an AI agent calling an MCP tool without authentication is not a good way. So it has to authenticate. There are multiple ways to authentication based on OAuth or based on API key. I just go with API key for now, but in an enterprises, you will have an Active Directory connection, you will have a service group, you have a typical enterprise authentication authorization procedures, right? You can do that as well. And nothing but your Lambda handler to get this. For now, I created an environmental variable and passed in the configuration file. It can be fetched in runtime as well when you set up OAuth connection. So very simple Lambda function, 300 lines, but more of the wrappers for the MCP and then the scripts. Now, when you create this Lambda function, you can also create a function URLs, right? So you get a nice URL here. This HTTP endpoint. This is going to be public endpoint. Though you put your Lambda in a private VPC, the moment you say function URL, AWS creates one prefix list for you, and then it gives you a way to connect through the publicly. Okay? So you have your function URL here. Now this function URL, I think we saw in our slides, right? So on the slide I showed you, you can put your function URLs to connect with your MCP publicly. Let's do that for now. Let's go to the DevOps agent. It cannot do running process for now. So let's go to the agent space. First, we have to go to capability providers. Okay. There's an option called MCP server here. I'm going to register it. I will just say something, differentiate MDU, AWS UG, MDU, DevOps agent, MCP, public. Okay. And I have to give an endpoint URL. This URL is going to be MCP endpoint. So we are going to get the function URL copied here and add it to this place now. Okay. And then we have to provide a description. Description is a clear way of telling when this MCP has to be invoked by your agent, right? So we have to type a small context to it. I just written it here just to save some time. I'm just telling that this MCP server is used for EC2 instance, for troubleshooting an EC2 instance with capabilities for getting the running process, get log location, app config, certificate expiry, and disk and memory. Okay. And there is option to connect to this private way. We'll go with public first and then go for private the next demo. Just go next. It asks for authentication. It's an agent. Agent is going to connect to your MCP. MCP needs an authorization. If you have an enterprise setup, you can go with this OAuth and AWS signature v4. For now, I'll go with API key, a simple way. You have to give your API key, header, and values, and this has to sync with your Lambda as well, because both has to establish a handshake, right? And in our Lambda, we also mentioned in a Lambda handler, first step is establishing authentication, and we have this API key there. This is going to be the key, the tag key value pair. I'm going to say this is my API key name, and key header. Key header is nothing but your how you pass your payload, right? X API key is your key header. And key value, this is something we will generate runtime. But for now, I given as a hexadecimal value here. I just passed it directly to Lambda, but it should be through a secrets manager, controlled, governed. Just reducing some overheads for now for this demo, but best practice is used through secrets manager. Okay. I'm connecting this API key, and then I'm just trying to add it. So it should add this Lambda as an MCP server now. It will take a few minutes. I'll say MCP server registered successfully. Okay, we have a new one. AWS UGMDU DevOps Agent MCP public. It's a private catalog for your MCP server. Now let's go back to agent space where your DevOps agent demo, and here let's add those MCP. It's a specific agent space for our account, right? Let's add a source. Let's take this UG Madurai DevOps agent, add here. Now you know the moment you add MCP, it knows what all tools it has it, because it is trying to do that JSON-RPC connections, right? It lists all those tools. You can select all of them that you want to add to this DevOps agent context. Just save it. Now it will show the webback secret as well. If you want to send something to this agent space or to this MCP dynamically, it would generate a secret. This we can give it to a CloudWatch agent as well. For now, I'll just copy. I'll copy later. I can later take this, not a problem. I'll close it for now. So now your agent space has the MCP integrated with it, right? For troubleshooting. Now, if I go back to this web access, if I go to list it, could you list? I just reload, refresh it once. I'm not sure if we can take it or we can create a new session, not a problem. It takes the authentication, it gets you back. I'm going to say, could you list all the running process on my SRE machine? I'm not going to give instance ID. I'm letting the agent to fetch it with the name that I give. Right? It thinks through. Let me check if SSM is available on your SRE test machine. Right? It still has access, but it tries to run something. It failed. Because it should not do that, and it should not try. It is trying to run some command, but it should not try it out of the box. It will not have permissions. It again says pull all CloudWatch metrics to see the. If you pull it already through CloudWatch, then it can say it's a passive way, right? Check the instance configuration, CloudWatch logs, a typical recommendation that an agent would give, correct? It found the SSM is available, the instance is available, but I'm not able to execute commands on it directly, and we don't want AI to run commands directly on your machine in a non-controlled way. Now the MCP is not associated yet. I think we have to close and open a new web application here. I'll just go again. Again, I do operator access. I'll get a refreshed chat session. Now I should be able to have it. I just greet with hello. And then I will first list all the instance it has it, and then let's go into it. Let's say, could you list my EC2 instance, please? Maybe if you have 5 or 10 machines, it will list everything. For now, I just have only one. So let me grab your instance. It runs that AWS EC2 describe instance command. It has an instance coming up here running, right? I would say, could you list MCP servers that you have access to? Now it should show the one that we added here, right? Scanning through associations to see what's available. Waiting for your response. Now it says I have a UG MDU MCP added, and it has all these tools. Okay. Now I'm going to say, without, let's play with this agent. Okay, Sunday, right? Without using this MCP, could you get me the CPU and file size available? So especially telling don't use MCP, so it should not do it. Let's see if it's still hallucinating something. CloudWatch metric, it uses other way to get to your machine. Let's see if it can still get it. It still gets it. CPU utilization, but this is a standard volume size, right? It tries to get from your EC2 Confluence, like EC2 console page. It is 8 GB, but it doesn't show how much it is segregated or if there's any fstab entry added to it. All those, it tries to gimmick you by saying that you have few things I can find from my own sources, right? Now let's see, use the MCP. Use the MCP and get me similar values for my machine. Now it will try to associate, there's an MCP attached to it. It can run some commands. So it's running that AWS MDU agent, public get disk and memory. Public means it's using the function URL, right? Nothing different. Sorry. Now you see that there's it used that command on tool use, that is the tool called as this specific tool, right? Get disk and memory. It used that tool. It ran some commands. It did this input. It found the instance ID because we didn't say what instance ID we want. We said my machine. There's only one machine, so it's running. But you have multiple machines, then you can just give a meaningful name that reflects the tag value. So you get your breakup of the storage size, and you get the root volume, the boot up volume, how much size free. Compare this difference, this detailed inputs to the previous one, right? Which you had before. Because it's running commands inside your machine. And it gets you more detailed context. If I now say, get me all the running process inside this server. So I'm not saying what is ID, so it has an agentic memory, so it knows which instance ID we are playing with now. So it knows that it runs the command, get running process command, the tool call, and then now it's going to pull you the value outside it. It knows, right? See? It knows there's some cron ID, NTP time server, you have a journal CTD, network daemon, you have an HTTP Apache server running, right? That's what we saw before. Public endpoint, if you hit it, you'll get a public endpoint, right? So it lists all the process. So you don't need an SRE, an experienced SRE to run these commands. Maybe a person sitting on L1, L2 support, right? They can just run these commands to get basic information for raising alarms, or by the way the SRE is coming back or running your runbooks. This all can be achieved with your MCP servers, right? Now we saw a public route. Let's take a private route, okay? Now I'm going to say that, let me delete this MCP connection. I'm just saying remove the MCP server for now. No MCP, no context to the agent to go in detail. Now the enterprise says, I want compliance, you cannot allow this, you can run it on dev, I will not approve for your prod. And if you go and sit on an application or be the architecture review board, a lot of fires happening here and there between a security team and an operations team. So if you put it on a private server, I can approve it. You have your commands sorted. It's not AI, it's your custom commands that you're running. I'm fine with it, but I can't allow it in a private network. So discussions leading you to set up a private network. So we have a capability providers here, which will help you to set up a private connection. Here you see there's something called private connections. I've created a few for other purposes, but I can just show you newly. Create a new connection. So it's a private, so it has to be on your VPC. So I'm again going to say AWS UG MDU private MCP. Okay. I'm going to say that I want to put on a specific VPC. I have a VPC in this machine running, MCP server VPC. This is mandatory because you're going to host a private, right? It's all isolated environment. Select your subnet. I'm going to select a private subnet, private 1, private 2. This is where your MCP server is going to hosted. And access control, for now I give a default security group, but it has to be constrained on what port it talks through. And host address, because the DevOps agent has to ping something, right, to reach your machine. So we are going to host our MCP servers on an API gateway model. So we need to give an API endpoint. And for now, I have few APIs created with different learning purpose, transform other stuffs. I don't want to go with anything. I just take one simple API here, okay? And whenever you have an API gateway, you will have stages to deploy it, and you have an invoke URL for your API, right? But you can have a multiple servers, but you want only one private connection for your network security, and you can connect multiple API gateways in future, right? So I don't want to go with a specific URL for an API gateway. Tomorrow I'll have another 5 API gateways, one for your web monitoring, another for your database monitoring, etc. So what I would do, I will create an VPC endpoint. Go to VPC. I've already created it to save some time. VPC endpoint, in the same VPC, you create an endpoint for your execute API service. That's nothing but your API gateway endpoint, right? When you create it on the same VPC, MCP server VPC, put it on a couple of subnets that you would like to put here. Same private subnets I used here. It may look like we are going deeper into a networking 300, but very simple. You have a VPC, you have a subnet. You want to put an endpoint on that subnet, so the DevOps can hit that particular endpoint. Okay. So you get a DNS name for your VPC endpoint. This DNS name I am going to give in this private connection, because it's a common endpoint for all your API gateways in this region. So I'm going to give this. I'm not going to encrypt it for now. I just create a connection. So it goes for establishing the connection. It takes few minutes because it has to do the handshake from an AWS VPC to your private VPC, right? So it takes few minutes. By that time, let's go and explore how the API gateway is built. So if you see an API gateway starts with your resources, what methods you want to call. I just want to put a very simple, plain, vanilla proxy path with a post call. I'm going to again integrate the same Lambda that we saw before here, right? The same Lambda, but this time I'm going to expose it as a private connection. I tried once, that's why this VPC lattice is coming up, otherwise it would not come. So an API gateway is being connected to this as a trigger, right? So it's private, you cannot hit it through function URL. We'll put on a VPC, it's fully private. API gateway also we're creating through a REST API gateway. It's not HTTP API, public API. So when you create a REST API, you will have to give your resource policy as well. I'm saying this API gateway can only be hit through your VPC endpoint that is specific to your account. Okay? No one else can trigger this API invocation. So you have your API resource setup, the post call, going to similar Lambda function. I'm not going to set any authentications here because I have an MCP authentication written there with Lambda. So I'm going to take a free hand here, but in enterprises, you have to have an Java Web Tokens based authentication for your API gateway. Okay. Now let's go back and see if the private connection is established. I think it would take a few minutes. But anyway, it's all same. All are going for the same endpoint. So for now, we can use another endpoint, and then let's go ahead. Let's not wait for this. Let's not make this demo lengthier. It will get eventually done. I will show you. Come back and show you in a later time. So let's use this test private. So again, registration, MCP server. Let's go and host our API gateway. Okay. So I will say AWS NG, AWS UG, MDU, MC DevOps Agent with API gateway. Okay. MCP with API gateway. Now I will take a URL of this particular gateway. Go to stage. I have proxy here as well, right? This one. I'll invoke this URL. I'll put this URL as my front ending for your gateway. It happens here. And then again, description is very important. So that I didn't know the context. I'm going to say take the same description here. Okay. Now I will say connect to endpoint using a private connection. That private connection should be your, like, I will say test private for now because that other one is running now. Let's see if it is done with it. You can use it. Otherwise, we can go with the one which is already there. Sorry, completed now. See, AWS GMD private is completed. Now I'm going to go here. I can refresh this page once again. I'll just copy this one. I'll refresh this page. I put the same API endpoint here. Replace UG and the U DevOps MCP with API gateway. I'll bring the description again from here. Connect to a private endpoint. Now we can see this AGMDU coming up as a private connections, right? Now we'll go next. Typical API key authentication. I'll use the same API key which we have used for the Lambda, but this all should come from your secrets manager in real time. For now, we are using this way, but we keep in mind that in enterprise, this all comes from your secrets manager or a vault or any other enterprise grade vault solutions. Let's take this API value as well. All three is given. Next, add. Now I think it should register your MCP. Registered successfully. Okay. Now if I go back to that agent space and then configure, sorry, it's already there, right? The operator access. It should open the same chat window. Now if I list the MCP, it should be a private MCP. I just say, I'll just always greet an agent helping you to simplify your job. Again, ask, could you tell me what MCP servers that you have access? Now it should show your private MCP server, the different name with API gateway, right? That is done. I think we are good. Let's check agent space one tool used. I think it doesn't have anything now. Okay. We added it here. Capabilities, MCP. Oh, we didn't add it here. Sorry. Let's first add it to your agent space. So for now, I'm adding this one, right? API gateway one. I'm just adding it now. Now the API gateway is added to this. Selected all the tools again. Now it's added. Close it. So your account, you have your pipeline as well. You can chat some questions with it. Here MCP server with the private API gateway. Now I'm going to go operator access because I just added it, so it will not have the access in the previous context. I'm just saying hello, and then let's ask about MCP that you have access. Tell me about your MCP or MCP access. There are several MCP configurations. Let me search through. I think it will search through the session. Now you can see here, right? It has given this custom MCP server API gateway. Now we can do the same thing. Could you get me the running process on my SRE machine? So eventually it would run those commands. Do you have the instance ID handy? I would like to check the EC instance. Go with same. It's asking confirmation from us. So it does describe instances. It finds the instance ID. It found this as a SRE test machine. Let me run the process on it. Running using your MCP on an API gateway, right? It takes that process, it runs that command, it gets output here. See, all through private for now. So this is just a two different use cases I want to show, but this is a skeleton or a wireframe, right? Now you can play with your Lambda script for your own requirement. If you want to get some context from the Confluence page, from the Google Docs, from your internal wiki pages, if you can expose that as a private server, it's fine. If you can able to establish the handshake between the Lambda or API gateway, then the sky is the limit here, because you can do many things with it. And I'll want to show one more thing with the pipeline as well. So we have a GitHub's repository connected here, right? Let me ask about it. Could you give me what is deployed from GitHub repo to this account? It should go and take some context from that repository and give me some answers. See, let me research what's deployed on my GitHub repo into this account. I just haven't plain repository, I don't deployed anything, but let's see what it gives. Right. Digging your environment, loading a skill. Skill I want to cover. Let's see that. There's no Terraform files, no GitHub actions. It's not there. But it can try to read the repository and give you Git logs. Right. Let me check that S3 buckets and Terraform state in your account. I do have a few Terraform deployed resources in the account. You can show it in an S3 bucket. You see here, right, there's a couple of S3 buckets. One is to store the state file. Another one is to have your application code, ignore the other things. So you have a few infrastructure deployed through Terraform. So I think it is trying to find something with it. And then it's trying to reason. It tries to understand itself first with the tools API calls, and then it would summarize and give us in a beautiful human language context. So it has these 17 tools, 2 skills, everything it has used, and it says you have 2 buckets, the recent commits in your pipeline, and whatnot. You can build a drift detection solution with it. I have deployed something from my repository. Someone has changed the security group manually. It can detect everything, right? So that's what I wanted to show you. There's another demo I can show, but it will take some time. I would take an opinion from Vivek or Madhumita to do that. But again, this is what a MCP is, and the important thing is the skill. So you can create your own custom skills. I just created one for the CPU investigation. It's nothing but telling the agent how it should move through while doing specific troubleshooting steps, right? I told like you have to investigate your CPU utilization, means you have to investigate the running process first, list it, see if it's about 20%, what the workers are running, see if there's a load spike or it's a issue within the machine. You can give all your thing, and these are all come from your organizational workbooks or runbooks that you have it. You can literally convert your runbooks into skill, add it to this agent, and then you're good to do the troubleshooting. Or even an L1 support can do the troubleshooting very quickly. I think should we stop here, Vivek? It gives even more 3 and level 400. I would like to make sure that people take away this clearly with all the private, public, and keep their extension. And I will show you whatever I've done before, like to save some time. I created a CPU spike on a server, and one I triggered manually, so it says user triggered. Other one is an event channel. That's your CloudWatch alarm can directly invoke the Lambda function. So I have a Lambda function here, CloudWatch DevOps Agent. You don't need an CloudWatch alarm connected to an SNS connecting to Lambda, all those drama. Just give your book URL, secret key. Again, this has to go from a secrets manager. I just showing a plain text for a demo. I'll delete it after this. But you have a sample template how you want to handle those. And if you give that as per the payload information that DevOps Agent expects with some transformation, I think it will beautifully do the automatic triage, and it can show that the moment it hits it, it reads the skill, it gets those MCP servers here, it does that analysis, it does the root cause. It says there are stress in the CPU, the user has done it by logging into the machine, right? And then they trigger the alarms. And if you have a communication established with like Slack or ServiceNow, automatically it goes and create a ticket or it will be notified. All these things can be done. With that, I think I'm open to questions. Anything on the chat? I can able to take anything. Open to you, Viveka, Madhumita.
Thanks, Srinivasan. It was a very great session, by the way. Like I was able to explore like what are the MCP, how those things are connected very much. Because I was using DevOps for like some time, I was using for own projects and my office works also. It was great, by the way. I also connect those MCPs, by the way, and I just use them. It was great. Yeah. Mamita?
So
Madhumita.
let's see whether like people in the comment section have been asking few questions. So we can go from the recent one from Loki.
Yeah. Can you post the question on the window? Like, Madhumita, I'm not able to see the chat.
Okay. Also, can you read those questions? That will be helpful.
Yeah, sure. So the first question is about who asked by Yogesh here. After this demo, I'm really excited to launch an EKS and ECS setup, inject faults using AWS FIS, and see how AWS DevOps Agent investigates, respond, and help remediate issues.
Yeah, it's a good activity, Yogesh. You should try that. I've tried it a few weeks ago. It was also an exercise from AWS Summit as well. So you inject your fault, you bring your ECS purposely down, inject something, it gets down, and see whether your agent can go and remediate it. It's something needed to get an operational maturity to move this agent from your dev to prod. It's a good exercise. You can do that.
Right then. Then Ajay Kumar has asked, can we able to try AWS DevOps Agent using AWS credits?
Yeah, I guess like it's possible. But
It's
thing is like
possible.
yeah.
Yeah, it's possible. I'm using with credits only. It's possible.
And
Yeah.
more thing is like it's based on query, I guess. Based on each query, the cost will be effectively generated.
Yeah.
Okay, let me check again. 1 minute. So long back, Yogesh has also asked, like, what is the recommended pattern to connect with AWS DevOps Agent via MCP or ACP or webhooks to Argo CD?
Okay, so Argo CD, right? So Argo CD is something connected with your Git repositories for mainly for Kubernetes, right? There's no out-of-the-box integration. Omshri also called out that, but if you can expose an API gateway for it, I think if you can register that as an MCP server, then we could definitely do that, but not out of the box. I think it's a future for development. I think it's also with the development team to bring that up. I think the service came on December reInvent as a public preview, and it was made GA at the end of March. Since then, the team is fully developing it. We obviously think give some time. I think it will come up here in the capability provider.
Okay. So another question. 1 minute. So another question from Manoj, I guess. The agent can learn from the data, right? How can we use this agent in a regulated environment where data governance matters?
Yeah, correct. So the agent learns from the data. So it depends on which account you're exposing it. Maybe you split up your accounts into different OUs, right? So if you have a compliance workload, you not have it in a separate normal account, right? So you have a OU specific separation for registering agent spaces. So the DevOps agent cannot go through that, and also a specific API calls that you have to expose, right? Even if I say auto create a role for DevOps agent, but when your MCP is trying to do specific action and that is not whitelisted, then it cannot do it. Okay? There is a way to control that, and whatever it learns through, it is not shared with any other client, or AWS doesn't use it to train its AWS model. It is with you, it's with your session, and it is stored locally on the AWS side, but it is not shared, or it's not used to train the AWS model or given to other clients, right? That way it is still safe. And that's why we always say expose it as MCP. Don't put as a direct documentation. Expose it as MCP so that it's only called when necessary, and it is not fully loaded into your context for the static time, right? Only it calls during when necessary.
We can also control the privileges also.
Yeah.
So one more question from Tamarakan. How do you decide which tasks should be handled by AI agents and which should still require human intervention?
Yeah, it depends. I would say depends is a very common answer in enterprise. But again, you would have a matrix, right? Whenever you want to make an AI solution operational, you would have an AI governance board and then a risk impact analysis, whether it's a read commands, whether it's going to be write commands, whether it's a destructive command, or whether the logs or the commands that they're trying to read is exposing some critical values that will affect their compliance. This has to be evaluated and then approved by a infosec team. So that way we can control this, and that's one of the best way as well. You can run many things in a dev environment, but the moment you go for prod, I think these all compliance and guardrails will be used, and an extensive study will be made.
So last question, I guess. In real production environments, how do you prevent AI agents from executing risky commands automatically? Yeah, the command
Not
is
run.
displayed.
It would it would not run anything by itself, right? Until you say. That's why when we develop our MCP, we given a clear explanation when that has to be used. So unless you pass the risky commands to AI and say run this command, it will not run. So that's why the connection between the agent and your EC2 is blocked by design, not by option, by design. It cannot run anything unless you say it. So the moment you say it, it can run, and you have to put a guardrails where you approve it. You approve it, and then if it does, then it's the mistake of person who approved it. So that's why the human in the loop is very necessary for all these actions. And even if AI tries to do something, if you have proper IAM roles, if you say IAM EC2 Denny instance deletion Denny, even if AI says go and delete the machine, it cannot do because the permissions are not there. Right? You have to combine the description, combine the IAM roles, and with the SCPs as well come in picture. The call is coming from call is coming from a specific role, then it will not do it, right? So we have to shift left and do all the controls by the way how we give input to AI agent. And then output you can control by giving some permissions. It cannot do anything on any destructive actions. Good questions, by the way.
There is one more question here. The question is on the screen.
Could this evolve into a self-healing system where agents detects, investigates, remediates, documents? Yeah, it's a fantastic question. Yeah, that's right. That's why I cannot run it and show it. Will again take more time, but it does that. If you see that investigation response, right, it automatically triggers the CloudWatch sends the inputs to agent. It does the triage, and then it sends you a summary. But when you connect some MCPs to do something, for example, if I say another MCP to say that extend the volume, if a volume is hit by 90%, I can have another MCP saying please extend the volume, add another 8 GB extra. It will do that. But you have to give a commands. It was adding a volume, you have to add a root volume, you have to make it. Sorry. So you have to pass those commands, right? You have to put an fstab entry, you have to connect your EFS utils. If you all can give it as a command, I think it would be there in our operational run books. If you can convert it as a skill and give it to agent, it can really do that.
Yeah,
That's
but I
the
feel
future.
that I still have a little bit of not so belief in self-aging agents. I think, but if human in the loop is still available, then this is a fantastic approach to get it done. Yeah.
So the file, the volume addition, mounting a new volume, creating RDS endpoint newly. These are something business critical things. So generally, people have a human in loop their approval.
Yep. Thanks,
Thank you,
Amir, for those couple of amazing questions from you as well. Yeah.
Thank you all.
So if there are no questions, then let me proceed. So of course, sir, it was privilege having you here. It was really, really nice time having you here. So thank you for joining us today on this Saturday morning. That too, we had really great time learning from you and sharing insights.
Yeah. By the way, thanks Srinivasan. Like able to tell like to use least privileges for our agents from using MCP, IM roles, etc. And I just had your experience having the certificates 10 plus. Soon, I guess soon you'll be golden jacket too. This is for the two. Soon
Thank you.
you'll
Yeah.
yeah. And
Thank you.
also like with your experience and hands-on guidance, people in certification cycle will get more hands-on experience. Like other than just learning certifications in YouTube or some other like Udemy or something, and instead of clearing those things, they can get real hands-on. Because like when they go for some interview or something else, they will ask only real case scenarios, not from the certification or something else. They will test out those things, right? So I guess you people can guide us and guide many people for taking those certificates.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We can do that. That circles is a new concept. We can take one concept and then deep dive. Yeah,
Yeah, that will be great. Instead of having some sessions, we can just have a real hands-on. Yeah, that will be cool.
yeah. We can do that as well. We can take one account and then troubleshoot some scenarios real time. Learn from it. Thank you. I
So
think we have lined up now. Yeah.
thank you for joining us. Bas. So if that's all, then we can move to the quiz session. Yeah.
Thank you,
Vivek,
Srini. Yeah.
you're muted.
Yes. Thank you, Srini. We'll again connect back. Thank you for amazing session. And
Thank you.
maybe I'll just add Omshri quickly to the stage. Thank you, speakers. It was amazing, and thanks for your time to be with us on a Sunday morning to share all the insights. But members, we still have this quiz session lining up. It's a great way for you to just recollect what you have learned so far, and you can really go ahead and apply that in a hands-on challenge in our Builder Skill Sprint. But again, coming back, thank you, Omshri, and thank you, Srinivasan, for your efforts and time that you have taken us to teach something new. And I've personally learned something new as well. So thanks so much, and we'll again come back with another sessions with you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thanks.
much for joining. Yeah. So we can move on to the quiz session then.
Yeah, of course. Hi everyone. Like we can just move to quest part, like which is the most important thing. You can just get the points and redeem within today itself. Yeah, you can just scan the QR which is on the screen. We will have 10 questions. I'll be on the screen for next 5 minutes. You can just scan this QR. Otherwise, just log into Kahoot, Kahoot.app. You can just enter this code, which is you can just click on the screen. You can just enter this code. You can just go, get started in 5 minutes. You can see Dilip in. Hi Dilip. Yeah. Okay, I there's like two of the Sublexmi champs has joined. Okay. Hi Ajay. People are coming in. We can just wait for 5 more minutes. We will start at
Can you
12:25.
share the link, Lokesh? Can you share the link in the YouTube chat as well?
Yeah, of course.
So we will start another 2 to 3 minutes. Those of folks are in the Kahoot, easy to win. You have less members, but again, you will also get for all the participants. You will be getting the points as well. So feel free to hop in. Great. I will stay out of the quiz for handling purposes. I won't be attendee, so for sure.
Speakers too.
Lokesh, do we have the link to paste in the YouTube chat?
Yeah, of course. I just sent in YouTube. I will just send it again. Just a minute.
No, I am not seeing that in the chat session.
Okay.
Yeah, so unless the host sends it, it will YouTube actually bans the links, direct links. So why don't you send it to me? I'll just share it. Okay.
Yeah, just a second.
think I have the.
People are coming. Yeah.
Yeah, now it should be. You can also check that in the chat session. So we'll wait for 1 more minute. At 12:22, we will start the session, the quiz. Wait, I think folks are ready. Yeah, I think we should be getting to go right now.
Yeah. Can just go. I'm starting it now. You can see the questions on screen and also your mobile phone. You can just give a correct answers. Just checking. What is the primary goal of AWS DevOps Agent? The whole session is based on it, so you guys know the answers. Moving on to next thing, I guess most of this I already answered. You open for next 10 seconds. Okay, most of the answers are correct. I guess like most of you are into the session from start. Okay, what is the context of success framework referred to? Yeah. Slack use onboarding topology intelligence hub as per the interest. 6 8, yeah. I guess timer we should reduce the timer, I guess, from next time. We should keep only 10 seconds. Most people are faster than the timer. Oh, okay.
Well, I think
Oh,
most
9.
of them are
It
indeed
was
listening to the session. Yeah.
Sunday morning, it was so great. What is the primary purpose of AWS DevOps Agent? Like we Omshri was taken about chat and web also. So that should be answer. Okay. 5,
7.
4, 2, 3, 1. Yeah. So very answer. Oh, great.
Good job, guys.
It's a great business. Like, how does a topology helps to handle those issues in our deployments? You can see you see the live demo also. So oh, great, 99.9.
It's gonna be heavy competition, I guess.
You need to release more Slack seems to be.
Mm.
It's a true or false, yeah. Design for as like many of chats questions are coming in for the same topic. So all people like I guess like 100% should be answer for this.
I think the within first 3 seconds we get most of the answers in, so it's
Yeah,
pretty tight. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
great.
Yep. Sixth question.
Like which protocol that support the MCPs to connect to the DevOps agent?
Might be tricky, but if you're using MCPs, then this should be an easy answer.
Yeah, most people are connected their native like on-prem servers with the AWS transport layer maybe. Most people know. Oh,
Yeah,
great.
I think most of them got it right, but still.
Yes, on seeing itself, they can guess the answer. Seems to be
Yes.
great.
Okay. It's
Okay.
initialize.
As Srinivasan about explaining about the IAM roles and etc. So if you're on second part of the session, it's a easy win.
I think this might topple the leaderboard a little bit, I guess.
Oh,
Okay, I think this is an even one, so it's a good one. So I think most of them would have been in a streak, would have lost it. Yeah. So going to the last penultimate question. Perfect. This is more than an agent question. This is more
yeah.
VPC related question. So, but yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it's VPC lattice.
fine.
It is a bit confusing with private links, so I got it. Yeah. The last question, easy question. Let's nail it so fast. So yeah,
It's a very use question. Yeah. What are the use cases? We've seen telemetry, etc., etc. So,
quick, because this is the last question, and then this is going to decide who's going to win.
as in like,
Yes. Now that the quiz is over, now let's tune back to the YouTube session if you're viewing it, but of course you'll see the results on your screen as well. Now going with Lokesh, go do the honors of announcing the winners. Yeah.
yeah. Let me announce the winners. Oh, okay. Can any guess like who may be a winner? Anyone guessing out? On the scoreboard, you can just put the comments like I may be a winner or something else. Okay, let's
I'm rooting for Yogesh because he's active throughout the session. So let's see what
Okay.
happens. Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's see.
always.
Let's see the podium. Oh, Aisa. Congrats, Aisa, for getting the third place. Second should be Atlas. Yeah,
Atlas.
first. Let's see who wins the first place. Okay, yes, yeah, Vivek guesses Vivek guesses like almost correct. And Dilip for fourth place, congrats, and Mani for fifth place. Each person will be getting points to redeem at our store to redeem a t-shirts, bottle, and the AWS credits. It will be sent over the mail, so you can just get redeem with the points and collect the swags from the website. And also, don't forget to post in the social media your experience about this event and the quiz and the website also. Let me
Yes.
stop sharing the
Now
screen.
I think it would be the perfect time. So thank you so much everyone for hopping in. But we have very important announcement, which is about how you could actually claim points for today's session. So I'll share the link, but I'll let 1 second. Let me quickly see. Just let me quickly do it. So okay, so we have people posting about today's sessions, key takeaways. That's really amazing. Thank you for Kausalya doing it. But let me just quickly share. And Lokesh, just also let's walk through the feedback session, how to submit a feedback form. Let me do that. Let me first quickly share the screen. You can guide me around that as well. So yeah, we have the builder skill sprint. So if you haven't joined, please do join because this also counts to your this one. Whether you have already registered in Meetup, we would again suggest you to come here and register because it's easy for us to map your points. Discussions, if you find anything interesting and so on, I think I'll paste all the resources here. Especially Omshri also sent her her session resources, which we will put down here. So you can, and we also have all the necessary things that will be available for hands-on as well. Lokesh, can you just quickly go ahead and help us with how to submit the feedback?
Yeah, of course. Let me share the screen there.
You want to share the screen or you want me to keep that?
You can just share the screen. I will just explain it.
Yeah, 1 second. Yes, go ahead.
Hi everyone. Before that, I need to tell like the Nova month is near end. If you're not yet submitted your submission, please go on check the Nova month also, which is like 1 month deadline has been moved to 1 more week. So you can just explore Nova month and there's a repo there. You can just take a pull and you can just explore those repo, and you can just add the innovative ideas to it, and you can just submit out it. Top three will be getting a spotlight, and also like extra points to redeem your swags as soon as possible. You'll be getting within this end of the month. So moving on to feedback session.
Yeah, one more thing around the Nova month. So we have told, so we have already given you starter code and all the necessary things to get started. So go ahead and see what is the challenge that we have here. So based on how you can take up any levels of challenge, you can create a local model and so on. So based on how much you complete, if you just take another 20 minutes to do, you can complete all the 5 challenges, or 10 minutes to do at least first 3. So, and if with the help of Kiro, you will be able to easily implement all this without a thing. And the reason why we recommend Olama is that we don't want you to spend extra bucks if you don't have this one, but you can always redeem credits from our store. So always choose Nova, because only then your credits will be used. Not if you use Claude, then you will be billed for marketplace. So be very sure of it. So we have extended the timeline. Ensure you get it completed by end of this month. Yes. So you can find all the information in the starter code. Now going back to DevOps month, you will find the necessary challenges coming in next few days. So stay tuned for it. Yeah, around the feedback, Lokesh.
Yeah, on the feedback page, you can just open your link. Will be shared in the YouTube comments. You can just you can just see the details of the session and also our resource as per Vivek told. And also you can see the feedback form. You can submit the feedback about our session, like what went well. If there are some suggestions to it, you can just share those suggestions to us in the form of feedback and give a rating for it. And also on submission of feedback, we'll get those details of your attendance and everything. So we can just keep track of your session.
Wait,
So
I think I have to enable the feedback. Just give me 1 second. Let me enable the feedback before it goes away. That's the reason it's not showing up on the screen. Just give me a second.
In the meantime, like you can just submit your feedback, familiar feedback details about it. If you're like interested in telling about some suggestion, this will be next session or something else. We are happy to provide those things also. So submit your feedback in it, so you can get the points for your feedback. So it will be easy for you to track your attendance also. So we can give out the points for it. So you can just claim and redeem your swags from our store, and also you can claim $25 AWS credits also. So it'll be useful for your projects for exploring those DevOps sessions or Nova, anything else. So it'd be great for you. And also our AWS swags are there also. You can just claim it out. So give your feedback and submit the hands-on session of Nova month, and DevOps month will be open soon. Till that, you can explore those repos and other resources given by our speakers. That will be helpful for you. And also soon our certification circle will be live, and also you'll be having a regular infos on it, and you guys can ping anytime, and you can just drop or discuss open discussion. So everything will be sorted out. Even if something based on hands-on experience you are facing some issues, otherwise having some doubt about certifications, everything will be live there, so you can just check it out. Yeah.
Let me quickly check. I think to check how I could put on my feedback link. So I could see this one, but I'm not able to find the link. Okay, we will anyway get you notified as well. So around how you can put down your feedback. The feedback form is on. We'll just ensure where you can go and put it, but you will be able to see it once you log into our platform. Yeah, again, circles, we have introduced circles. So if you want to, if you are right now, we are aiming for certification. So if you're already completed a certification and you want to help people, you can join hands with other certified people and then let us know how, and let us know how you wanted to help others. So you can join hands and then host sessions for doubt clearing and then certification study. Yeah. Yes, now I think that should be it. So we spent a comfortable 2.5 hours today morning trying to learn something new, and right now our platform is upgraded to another level. We have speakers, volunteers, everyone is getting automated points. All you have to do is hop in, learn, share what you have learned so that others could get benefited, and keep rising through the leaderboard and redeem your points for the swags. So the swags are an indicative milestones about what you have been consistently contributing to back to a community, and that's the great way. And if you want to pick up leadership posts, do become one of the circle leads if you are professional, and if you are in college, do become a champ lead as well. That will help you to put the AWS into your career as well as for other people to help to impact other people's life. Yes, and that should be it. And thank you so much, Madhumita, and once again to my co-organizer Lokesh. We'll be back soon, and you can find all the information in the website. It's www.awsugmdu.in, and you can, if you're not signed in, no worries, you can just go ahead and register, map your link meetup profile, and then join the sprints, and then submit your feedback. We have also kept the feedback for February's month, sorry, April's month on as well, because we have just launched the feedback feature very recently. So we are giving some time for you to go and register. So thank you, and go and put on your feedback, and then that registers the points for you. So thank you everyone, and thank you Madhumita, thank you Lokesh.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Have a
Thanks
good day.
everyone for joining in.
Have a good weekend. Bye.
Bye.